What is up, my dudes? Welcome back to Story Time with your favorite Reddit fairy. My name is Lorna, and today we are getting into episode 26 of r/Choosing Beggars. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Taco Bell Beggars, posted by user Skeletor_boy. I work at a Krispy Kreme, and there's several other fast food places nearby. Every Friday, I would bring the Taco Bell workers donuts until as of recent. I usually bring them a couple dozen of the original glazed, but I stopped because I had this conversation with one of the employees. Me. Brought y'all some donuts. Happy Friday, guys. Choosing beggar. Did you bring us the glazed again? Me. Sure did. Choosing beggar. Oh God, I'm getting so tired of the glazed. Can you bring in different donuts? Me. Probably not. The glazed is the cheapest for me since I still have to buy them. Choosing beggar. But that's all you ever bring. I want something different. Me. Sorry, but that's not happening. Plus, I bring the donuts in for you guys for free. I don't think you're in a position to be asking for certain donuts. Choosing beggar. Well, you're just being a selfish asshole and rude. Me. Well, I just stopped bringing y'all donuts. Let your coworkers know you ruined it for them. And now I bring donuts to the Wendy's, and they love it. Oh, that's, ouch. Yeah, man, like, why? Why would you spend your own money on, like, do you get discounts at the Taco Bell? Is that, like, why do you bring them donuts? Like, why do you, like, I could understand if you guys had some left over and you didn't have to pay for it and be like, oh, I'm going there anyway, maybe I'll just bring them some, but I don't know. That's kind of odd, I guess. I don't know. You never really think to bring food from another place to another place that sells food, I guess, so that's why I'm a little bit confused. I don't know. But then again, Red Lobster and Olive Garden are owned by the same company, and I worked at a Red Lobster in West Canada when I lived out there for a little bit, and there was an Olive Garden literally right next to us. So they would ask for our cheddar biscuits, and we would ask them for their garlic bread or their chocolate mints, because all Red Lobster had was just like the straight up mints. Olive Garden had the nice like chocolate mints. We're like, bring those and breadsticks. Oh my God. I really thought she was joking. Posted by user WonderXL. One Saturday morning, my fiance wakes up and then nudges me awake. I turn over and see the look on her face and instantly knew. She wanted to go out for brunch. As I'm getting ready, I ask where she wants to go, and surprisingly, she says Dennys. It's a shock for me, but said okay, so that's where we were headed. We sit down, order, and start eating. You know, like what you would normally do. But in the middle of our meal, 3 people are seated across the row from us. Being loud, and as well as being 5 feet from us, we can hear everything, so know how much they were ordering. We finish our meal, not a fan of breakfast food or Denny's, and receive our bill. Now, I want to pay with my card, but really hate to leave a tip on the card. I prefer to tip with cash, but I didn't have any. So I tell my fiance that I'm going to go to the front to the ATM to get some cash for the tip. As I get up, I see out of the corner of my eye one of the people from across the row get up right away. I don't think anything of it, and I get to the front of the place and start the transaction, minding my own business, and then I hear, "Hey, can you give me $80? I froze and didn't know what to think or do. I turn around with a smirk, honestly, think it was a joke. I don't even remember what I replied with, but it was something sarcastic or joking, as I thought I would keep the joke running. But at the same time, I said no. She looks me dead in the eye, cold-faced, and says, "Thanks, fuck you," and walks out the door. I go back to my table to pay the bill, leave the tip, and leave, but the people she was there with see her walking down the street from the window. They're wondering what she was doing, and I intervene and told them what had happened. They said that was their aunt and invited them to brunch, and it was her treat. I told them it looks like they will have to cover the bill, and they said they couldn't, and I was asked again for money. I didn't even respond. I put on my coat and grabbed the $20 bill off the table as my tip and had to track down the pregnant waitress to hand her the money personally. I knew they would take it off the table as soon as I turned my back. Who does that? That's like, what am I thinking of? Was it New Girl? That they all went out for dinner and then they like just... Oh, what am I thinking of? I can't remember what it is. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, no. I remember what it is. That 70s show. It was, who was it? Kelso and Hyde and Donna and Eric, I think. I'm pretty sure. And Jackie. I think they were all there. Yeah. They were going out to celebrate. He's like, I'm going to take you all out to celebrate. And then they find out that he had no intentions of paying and it was just going to be a dine and dash. That's exactly what this sounds like. Oh my God. Like, you don't invite people out and say, hey, it's my treat. And then just like take off on them when you don't have them. Why? Why would you do that? I wonder if they do this like frequently. Like they just go and treat themselves to a restaurant and act all stupid like, oh shoot, I thought I had money in my wallet or something, and get some naive, gullible person to pay for them. I wonder if she's gotten away with this before. I'm very curious. Give someone $300? Offer more? Choosing Beggar activated. Posted by user Ari_T. First time poster. Avid lurker. I work at a pretty small nonprofit, about 30 staff, and we help folks find stability. Won't go too much into detail there since I don't know of many nonprofits like mine and don't want to give it away. Anywho, each month we give people a stipend for attending, and for December it's a little higher due to budget spend down. I have a person who hasn't really been attending due to having a lot going on, but I still wanted to give her the attendance money to help her out. So I let her know I have $300, and she's like, oh, great, because my tags just expired, so that will help. So she comes in, grabs a check, done. I tell my boss, and she says because we have some extra funding, I can offer to pay for her tags and insurance so that she could use the $300 for something else. I'm like, yes, amazing. So I let the person know that we can help with her tags and insurance too. Probably about $350 to $450 total depending on what car she has. And that I just need the receipts showing they're paid for. Here's where she activates her Choosing Beggar trap card. She says she'll come by today to grab the new check. I'm like, it's going to take 3 to 5 days for us to get it all set up since it's a check. It'll be ready next week. All she says is, next week? That sucks. I email her back offering to send her a copy of the form she signed acknowledging that any funds request will take 3 to 5 days to process. She said, no thanks. I guess I'll just try to get through without it. I know it's not that extreme, but I was really just dumbfounded. Like, this morning, you didn't know that I could help with this. What were you gonna do before? Am I the asshole here? No, definitely not. Like, you tried to help them out. Like, I don't understand that. It's free money. Like, why can't you just wait? Like, nah? Like, I don't understand. Why? If you know you're getting money, why would you turn it down? It's just like something in their heads. Like, if they don't get what they want right away, then the switch activates in their head almost like similar to a situation, whereas if they're like, well, fine, I'm not shopping here anymore, I'm not giving you my business anymore, it's like the Karen in them needs to retaliate or something. I don't know. This woman is off her rocker if she's gonna say no to almost $450 plus $300, so $750 potentially she's saying no to, and instead just accepting $300. I don't get it. I don't get it. My Japanese bosses are real choosing beggars. Posted by user Yozo Raga Daisuke. I don't know if I said that right at all, and if I did, go me. Obligatory English is not my first language. Characters. Choosing Beggar, Japanese Boss 1. Choosing Beggar 2, Japanese Boss 2. And me. Backstory. I work in a Japanese manufacturing company overseas as a translator. I'm a local employee, not Japanese. We have 4 Japanese managers, and I work under Choosing Beggar 2. Being a translator, I pick up on a lot of things while working here. One day, Choosing Beggar 1 and Choosing Beggar 2 verbally promised me to raise my rank as a training manager so that I can teach the other workers what I have learned from the Japanese. And so I trained for over a year to learn all the things that I need to do later. Within that 1 year, they keep promising that they will give me the official promotion letter soon. The promise comes every now and then and never came. Fast forward to 1 year later, a new translator rolled in. As soon as he took up translator job, I started, based on the verbal promise, working on my new tasks as training executive. It was okay until a few weeks later, and that new translator turned out to be a dud. He couldn't do jack shit. Choosing Beggar 1 and Choosing Beggar 2 immediately turned back to me to do a translation job. At the same time, they want me to still perform my new duties as training executive. In other words, double the job, double the working hours, but no additional benefit whatsoever. So I told them the only reasonable response. Okay, I will help you, but let's get that useless guy out first and start recruiting a new person so I can get back to my new duties. Their response? Choosing Beggar 2. No, we're keeping him. It's difficult to find a new translator. Me. If you're keeping him, then use him. Why use me? Choosing Beggar 2. Because you're better. Me. Then what is he here for? Choosing Beggar 2. I feel sorry for him, so let's just keep him. Me. What is he gonna do then? Choosing Beggar 2. Learn to translate. You will teach him. Me. Till when? Choosing Beggar 2. I don't know. Me. Then, till he can do it, I will resume my old position. Choosing Beggar 2. No, I want you to do your new duties too, because you're good at teaching. Me. I'm basically doing 3 jobs? Choosing Beggar 2. Yeah, but I know you can do it. That's when I know he has intended to keep the new guy just to give me false hope that one day I will be back to doing 1 job. I wasn't taking any of that shit, so I ensured the next day the guy quits his job. Let's not delve on how I did it. As soon as he quit, I automatically resumed my old post as translator. Choosing Beggar 2. Why aren't you teaching? Me. I'm a translator. Choosing Beggar 2. But you promised to teach. Me. And you promised to promote me. Choosing Beggar 2. Fine. I'll get HR to do it. Till then, can you just do it for me? You're really good at it. Me. I've been teaching these workers for free for 1 whole year while I trained and worked as a translator at the same time, and while you made all those empty promises. So, no. Later, HR gave me a new job description instead of a promotion letter. I replied by saying I refused the job description due to no new benefit despite the 500% increase in workload. Choosing Beggar 1, who was also the managing director in my company, called me to his office. Choosing Beggar 1. Can't you just, absorb the extra workload? I know you can do it. You're good at your work. Me. If you will increase my benefits accordingly, I'm willing to discuss. Choosing Beggar 1. But this is not a promotion. We're just changing your role. Me. No, you're giving me more work. Previously, I was paid X to work as a translator. Now you're telling me to do 5 jobs with the same pay. I will not accept that, unless you can promise me that I will never have to stay back, even if I cannot finish whatever task you've given me for the day. I only work 9 hours a day. Choosing Beggar 1. But you're an executive. It's common to work overtime. Me. I have every right to refuse, especially since my job is still just a translator. Choosing Beggar 1. You see how everyone else got to work overtime? Why are you the only one complaining? Me. Maybe they couldn't finish something that I can finish in 2 hours. Have you ever thought about efficiency? Choosing beggar 1. That's why I said you can do it. You're efficient. That's why I think you can do more. Me. Like I said, I will do more if there is compensation for my extra work. Choosing beggar 1. I cannot give you compensation now. We don't have that much money. Me. Then let's write a contract where you will pay me such and such when we do. Choosing beggar 1. I don't want to promise that in black and white, but I promise Choosing Beggar 2 will give you great annual performance review if you accept this new job. Then you can get a high bonus. Me. I'm not interested in performance review and verbal promises. Make it in black and white, and I prefer what I am sure I can have, instead of future performance reviews, and I cannot 100% confirm will benefit me accordingly. Choosing beggar 1. What? But don't you think about all the work experiences? They're valuable. Me. I already have them. I'm ready to unleash my potential anytime as long as you're willing to compensate. Promise me I will never have to work overtime. Choosing beggar 1. We will try to make your work as easy as possible. Me. Then let's try this. I have 9 working hours a day, and you give me 5 jobs to do, at the same pay rate as before. So let's divide how many hours to do which job. I'm pretty flexible. However, at this current rate, since I'm still doing translation job, I see that then translation itself is going to take 9 hours. I'm not sure when I'm going to do the other jobs. Choosing beggar 1. We're going to limit the translation job we give to you. Me. Make it in black and white. How much per day? Hour. Words. Choosing beggar 1. No. Then we won't have enough to have you translate our meetings with the local workers. Me. I'm pretty sure you have 5 other local employees who can speak Japanese. Why not just have them do it? Or at least let us take turns. Choosing beggar 1. I want you because your translation is the best. Me. Then let me stay as translator. Choosing beggar 1. But we also need a teacher. You're good at teaching. Me. I have already stated what I want. If you don't like it, you can find someone else who is willing to do it. Choosing beggar 1. But you're the only one who can. Me. As long as I don't sign the new job description, there's nothing you can do to me. And remember, you are in my country. I know our labor laws better than you do. You're not in Japan anymore, where you can pressure anyone into suicide with your crazy working culture. Then I left the office. I actually have more stories on these Japanese bosses, but they're not Choosing Beggar related, so I will post them on r/rant or something. Sorry if it's boring. Got a little racist there at the end, but or xenophobic. I don't know if I'm ever using those 2 terms correctly. It's sad that I should even have to use those terms in the first place, but that's just an opinion. I'm not calling OP either of those things. Just that one little jab there at the end was, but that's pretty shitty. Like 5 different jobs they want him to do, and they don't want to compensate him. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. I've worked jobs like this before too, where they just give you a new title thinking that you'll be appeased with that. But it's like, no. Like, you want me to take more time away from being home. You want me to spend more time here doing things for you. I need more compensation. I need like some kind of incentive to want to do that, you know? You need to keep your employees happy, especially, like I was saying yesterday, they just take advantage of the ones that do really, really well, and they just milk them. They just wring them dry of their blood, sweat, and tears until their spirits are broken and nobody else wants to hire them. Oh no, why am I laughing? But it's true. But it's just like this, like, you can't. You have to show your good employees that you appreciate them, and then that will make them want to stay and keep doing a good job. Maybe I might be a little bit right. Nothing is better than free sides. Posted by user Daniel Warfield 99. So I work with this very big lady. She is always complaining about something food related. Today was no exception. Our very generous bosses brought in a free Chinese food for us employees. Egg rolls, crab rangoon, fried rice, and a couple of other side dishes. This woman proceeds to say, "Wow, no meat, just sides? You can barely even call this food." To which I respond, "It's not like we had to pay. They brought it in for free as a thank you." She responds with, "I'd rather have nothing than just sides." I never understand people like this. Me neither. I'm not the biggest fan of Chinese food. I like a few things. But I don't even know if the things I like are actually Chinese food or if they're just like dishes put on their menu to appease more than one person. I'm ignorant when it comes to that. So there's a couple things I like, but fried rice especially, man, I could just sit there and eat a whole thing of fried rice. No problem. No problem. I love me some fried rice. I don't like egg rolls, but I do like spring rolls. I like when the shell is like thinner and crunchy. I like that. But egg rolls, I don't know. There's something about it. It just makes my stomach turn. It's not even like the ingredients that are in it, but maybe like the texture and what it looks like. It looks like worms to me, and I've always had like a strong aversion to worms. When I see them, I just no thank you. Oh my god, but choosing fucking beggars, man. If you'd rather eat nothing, then shut the fuck up and eat nothing and say nothing. Just keep your trap shut. Why do you have to feel the need to say something, you entitled twat? Homeless man and my bearded dragon. Posted by user Just a Sushi Roll. Thought I'd share something that happened to me a few weeks back. Went downtown in my area a few weeks ago with my bearded dragon Pancake and ended up forgetting to grab my lunch from home and decided to stop at a pizza place. I ordered way more pizza than I could eat and bagged up the rest. Went to walk around for a little bit longer when someone approached me and asked for money, saying he was homeless. I offered to take him back to the pizza place and get him a slice for $3.50, but he declined and said cash would be better since he didn't like pizza. I declined and walked a little farther and sat on a bench. At that time, another homeless man came up to me, asking about my lizard, who was now happily on my shoulder. We talked for a while about bearded dragons, and he was absolutely thrilled to have gotten to meet him. Then after about 20 minutes of conversation, he noticed my food bag and asked if it was leftovers. I said yes, and he asked if he could have some of my leftovers as he hasn't eaten in a few days. I gave him my leftovers and $10, and we continued talking about Pancake for a while. He was a really sweet guy. This is my first time having someone ask for my leftovers, which is a big change from having people get visibly mad when you won't give them cash. And had a super nice conversation, and Pancake got some good beard scratches. That's awesome. So that's how you know that they actually need it when they ask for leftovers. Like if they're that hungry that they're gonna take something that you've already put your paws in, you know they're hungry. When they completely deny like fresh bought food, they're not hungry. They're looking for they've got ulterior motives. All right, my dudes, that went relatively quickly. So I think I'm going to get into a couple of subscriber comments from the last couple of videos. This one, Kaylani Yates, she wants, here's what she says. I want to share a funny story from my bartending days with you since you've made me laugh so many times. I used to work with a woman from England. She was awesome. One day, as she was preparing to leave, The lone customer that had stayed past our lunch rush looked at her with a smug expression, as if he had solved some great riddle, and said, "You're not from here, are you?" She smiled at him and said, "No, not originally." "So, where are you from?" Her smile grew wider. "I'm from England." His eyes grew wide. "Wow, who taught you English? Your English is amazing." She gave him another quick smile and said, "It's just something that I picked up in school." It took us every bit of our strength to keep from laughing in his face. Thankfully, he left a few minutes later. We almost peed ourselves laughing the minute he was out of the door. And just so you know, he was a CFO, Chief Financial Officer, so he had definitely gone to college. LOL and a half. FYI, this is the same guy who asked me how the fried clams were prepared. I so wanted to say, intense psychotherapy, being thrown into boiling hot grease is pretty traumatic. Since you can't say stuff like that at a high-class restaurant, I just kept a straight face and said, "They're fried, sir." It was an interesting job, to say the least. LMAO. That's amazing. "They're fried, sir." Dumbass. Not you, the guy. Oh, it's good. Okay, and we've got another comment from Walter on, I think this is my last video. I have an add-on to the kid voice story. My good friend and I were exchanging paranormal stories and personal experiences, which he was reluctant to do. He told me this story of his that he hated telling because whenever he did, things started happening around him. After high school, he had no direction or ambition, so he decided to join the Job Corps. They would train him in various trades he could pick to apprentice in once he found one he liked. He would live and study on a makeshift lightweight military training base that replaces basic education for physical boot camp. Basically, too dumb, poor, drugged out, gang-affiliated, or teenage pregnant for college, so come get your stuff together and become employable. The location of the Job Corps was a former military airfield with barracks reused as an asylum before becoming the location of the Job Corps. There were 5 buildings on the site, an unused hangar, 2 barracks that were basically a door with 2 long rows of beds, and a bathroom, which was a toilet, shower, and curtain at the back end. The administration building, and an ominous, abandoned 3-story asylum building. My fresh out of high school friend was young, thugged, and fearless at the time, and this was years before we crossed paths. There were many stories and rumors about the place being haunted, especially the asylum building, which was taken as a challenge by the majority of the kids, all wanting to show off how tough and badass they were. So my friend is there on his first night. Here's stories of this little girl on a tricycle that can be heard and on occasion even seen. Of course, he brushes it off. That night, he gets up to use the bathroom. He gets up and walks the quarter down to the 2 rows of beds to the back of the barracks. He's standing there when he hears it. Cha-ching, cha-ching. He's caught off guard, but is now more alert, thinking his mind was playing tricks on him because he was half asleep. He hears it again, and now this former martial artist is scared. He knows he has to turn and face the direction the sound came from to get back to his bed, even though his instincts are telling him it's the last thing he should do. He slowly turns to see a little blonde girl on a tricycle looking at him, smiling. My friend lost it and ran past her to his bunk and covered his head the rest of the night. That was the first of 3 incidents that happened there. I was able to get out of him that day. Yeah, I'd be crapping my pants if that happened to me. La 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 la. Oh my god, I love hearing these stories from you guys. It gives me like, because I live out in the boonies, man. I don't see people that often, so I love to hear from you guys and the different stories you guys have. It's so great. Oh my god, keep them coming. Alright, my dudes, that's it. That's all I've got for you today. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like it, please smash that like button. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified of future videos. Otherwise, you'll miss them, and that would be so sad. As always, the links to these stories will be in the description, so head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes. You know they deserve it. And don't forget to submit your stories, my dudes. I'm always accepting stories. Pictures, Anything you guys want to send me that you think you'd like to see in my video, send it my way. Even memes, like funny memes. If you think I think they're funny, send them my way. Don't spam me with memes, please. All my socials are in the description. There's 5,000 million kajillion trillion different ways to contact me. So there you go. And with that said, you all have a fabulous day, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you in Monday's episode of r/Choosing Beggars. Mwah!